Hello class. In this video we're going to have a very quick review on the constant of proportionality. Now what a constant of proportionality is it's basically a unit rate within a proportional relationship. So for example, if I said that each t-shirt was $7, then my constant of proportionality would be 7, because every time I buy a t-shirt I'm going to pay $7 extra for each t-shirt. Now I'm going to show you a quick example of how you can find constant of proportionality within a table and also within a few graphs. So our first example, we're comparing the cost of an ID to the number of IDs to the cost of an ID. Now here, our constant of proportionality is actually outlined because we can see that one ID is $5. But if I wanted to check, I can also divide $20 by 4, which would still give me 5. $60 divided by 12, which would give me 5. $100 divided by 20, which would still give me 5, and so on and so forth. I can do these as well, but I know my constant of proportionality is going to remain 5 because it's always going to be $5 for a single ID. So I don't need to divide all of these single ones. I can pick any of these pairs, and it should give me that each ID is $5 because we do have a proportional relationship. Now, unlike our graph or our table above, this table unfortunately does not perfectly outline our constant of proportionality because it doesn't tell us how many miles we drive in 1 hour. So we have to identify that on our own. Now again, we can pick any of these pairs to tell us how many miles we drive per hour. So for example, I'll just grab the middle one over here. So I can divide 160 by 8, and my constant of proportionality will just be 20. Same thing with 200 divided by 10, that'll give me 20. 300 divided by 15 will also give me 20. So either by dividing our miles by our hours, we will get our constant of proportionality. Now in our next example, we're going to be showing how to find the constant of proportionality within graphs. And we have 3 examples here, and they all have to do with various people's pay. Now, on the assessment, you may have noticed that there were a few dots here and there, and they were kind of outlining specific areas of our graph. Now remember, the constant of proportionality is how much we change each and every time a new hour goes by or a new unit is added. For example, if we go from 1 ID to 2 IDs, here it's a little bit more easy to see. So we can see that for 1 hour we make $5. We can also see that after 2 hours we make $10, and so on and so forth. And you don't need to highlight these little points, but this is just showing you that each time we go up by an hour, we're increasing by $5. Now I can pick any of these points on the graph. For example, I can use this one, and just like unit rate and just like the last example, we can divide these to show us our constant of proportionality. So 40 divided by 8, as you probably already know, when you divide those, you get 5. So our constant of proportionality here would just be 5. Now in our next example, there's more than one way you can solve this. Of course, you can just look at how much money someone's paid per hour, and if you have a good eye, you can realize that right about here, you'll see that it's $8 every 1 hour. But again, you can always divide by a more clear point. Again, we have 40. But instead this time we make $40 in 5 hours. If I divide 40 by 5, I'm going to get 8. So I can see here that my constant of proportionality is 8. Now in our last example, we can see we only have one clear point. Now if we look at our unit rate, for example 1 hour, if we look closely we can see it's not exactly on the line of 9, it's a little bit above, but I won't be able to tell my constant of proportionality or, again, unit rate, because they're the same thing, because it's just not as clear of a graph as I want it to be. Now here, if I have a good eye, I can see that for being paid $32, I only have to work, $37, I only have to work 4 hours. So I can divide 37 by 4, and I should see that this person is getting paid $9.25 every single hour, which is why their constant proportionality is also $9.25. If you have any questions on this, always feel free to message me on Schoology or ask me questions in class. And please remember, once you take these notes, you will have to complete the online quiz that will let you know whether or not you are ready to do a reassessment, and then you will have to retake that assessment either in the morning or during lunch. If you have any questions, again, always feel free to message me. Thank you.